Hello everyone, my name is Rishabh Mishra and I welcome you all to the next lecture of our video series. In this particular video, we'll be learning about trennbare verben. Trennbare verben. So what are trennbare verben? These are separable verbs which are used in German language, as I have written over here. It's trennbare verben. So these are separable verbs. How they are used, okay, and how the verbs are getting separated, what are the conjugations of these verbs, where these verbs are used, where these verbs are not used, we'll all be learning in this particular lecture. Okay, so for example, I have a word known as absagen. Absagen. So combining these two things, we have a complete verb that is absagen. So if I break this particular verb, so this is called as prefix, this is prefix, and this is verb. So verb, some of the verbs that we know, and if we add a prefix to it, so it becomes a trennbare verben. So for here, ab means of, and sagen means to say. Of and to say. When we combine these two, it becomes a new verb. So this is called as absagen, means to cancel. Absagen means to cancel. So what we have done, we have used a verb that is called as sagen, and we have used a prefix called as ab, and we have combined these two, so there is a new verb, it's absagen. So this verb is called as trennbare verben. We can break this word into two parts, ab and sagen, and both have different meanings. Absagen. There's one more example attached to it. Okay, there's one more example. Auf and stehen. Okay, auf, stehen. Stehen means to stand. Okay, auf is denoting up. Auf is denoting up. Okay, so auf, stehen, up and to stand. When we combine these two, so this becomes to wake up. There's a, in some verbs they have a relation, the prefix, the verb, and when we combine these two, they have a relation in some of the words, but in some of the words they do not have any kind of relation. As we can see here, like of and to say never means to cancel, but this verb absagen means to cancel. Aufstehen, it's up and to stand. Up and to stand. So when we use combinedly, it is aufstehen, that is to wake up. So this is again a trennbare verben using, we have a prefix and we have a verb. So combining these two, we have trennbare verben. Now, how they are used in a particular sentence? How a trennbare verb is used? Okay. So generally what happens is, for example, if I use this thing, okay, if I use a sentence, if I have a sentence, for example, generally I am using a sentence, like I have sentence using some words. So usually at second position we have verb. Usually at second position we have verb, and at the end we do not have anything kind of thing. We have just subject and object. So for example, it's a simple verb I am using, ish, and I have a comma, then I have aus, and I use Indian. So simple sentence I am using, ish, comma, aus, Indian. I come from India. Simple sentence, verb at second position and conjugated according to the subject. This is a basic thing that we have learned till now. For trennbare verben, what happens is, trennbare verben, what happens is, if we have a verb called absagen, so this sagen, it gets conjugated according to the subject, and this ab goes at the last of the sentence. We'll be learning this. For example, someone asked me, when do you get up every morning? So I answer, I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. So let's make the answer first. That's Aussagen, that is declarative statement. So to get up in the morning means to wake up. So what verb we'll be using? We'll be using aufstehen. So I'll be using ish. Then I'm leaving the space for verb. Okay. Then I'll be using declarative. I'm using Zeitangaben, that is jeden Morgen. Then 6 Uhr. So what I have conveyed you till now? So this is when we are using simple verbs, it get conjugated according to the subject and comes always at second position. But when we are using Trennbar Verben, so prefix gets broken down from the complete verb, and then the verb which is left gets conjugated according to the subject, and this prefix goes at the last. So what we can see, ish, the verb is aufstehen. The verb is aufstehen. So stehen gets conjugated according to the subject. So I'll be writing ich stehe. Jeden Morgen means every morning. Jeden Morgen is every morning. 6 Uhr, it is at 6 o'clock. Now the sentence would have been completed if it was a simple sentence. But here we are using Trennbar Verben. So this auf takes the last position. So what is the complete statement when I say I get up at 6 o'clock every morning? So the complete statement is ich stehe jeden Morgen 6 Uhr auf. Understood? Again, when I say I get up at 6 o'clock every morning, so I will say, I'm saying ich stehe jeden Morgen 6 Uhr auf. Okay? There's one more rule here. This is that when we are talking about any time or like day or any particular Zeitangaben. So these are called as Zeitangaben. That's the words which are denoting time. Okay. So these always takes third position or first position. We'll be learning this in upcoming lectures. I have a complete lecture dedicated to time and the uses of time and the prepositions we are using in order to declare a particular time. So I'll be teaching you this in that what kind of sentences are there and what exactly is the position of these Zeitangabens. Here, ich stehe jeden Morgen 6 Uhr auf. So we have completed the sentence. Now what if I want to ask that when do you get up every morning? When do you get up every morning? So for when, we are using one, okay? When do you get up? So here the subject is you. So if I use second person singular informal sense, so one, then I'll be using the verb, then I'll be using the subject, then I'll be using jeden Morgen, every morning. So what happens here? Again, the Trennbar verb gets broken down, and the verb which is left behind, that is stehen, that takes conjugation according to the subject. So I'll write one stehst du jeden Morgen auf. One stehst du jeden Morgen auf. So if I want to ask you, when do you get up every morning? So you can say in German that wann stehst du jeden Morgen auf? Wann stehst du jeden Morgen auf? Aufstehen, stehst auf. Then in answer to this particular question, I can say ich stehe jeden Morgen the time when you get a dash Uhr auf. So this is a set of question and answer. So here I have completed the W-Frage and I have completed the Aussagen statement in order to explain that how these are used. Okay, so next thing. What is the next thing? So in next thing, how do you come to know that this particular verb is a trennbar verb or it's not a trennbar verb? Okay, so we have some prepositions. We have some general prepositions that whenever you see these prepositions, you just go and just figure out that okay, these are trennbar verbal. So what happens is we have some prefixes. Whenever you see these prefixes, so you at that particular time you get to know that the particular verb is trennbar verb. Okay, so I'm explaining you this. So this is ab. This is what I have told you about ab. It is of. So it is of, and auf is a. Ein is in. Hin is to hear. For is before. Zurück is back. Nach is after. And aus is at. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's from. Is at, or also you can use it as around. Mit is together, or not together exactly, it is with someone. Mit is with someone, with. Zusammen is together. An is at. So whenever you will be using these prefixes, so you will get to know that okay, this particular verb is trennbar verb. For example, there is a verb. This is auf and räumen. Auf, räumen. So this means to clean up. To clean up. Ausmachen. That is to switch off. To switch off. Ausgehen. It's to go out. Zurückgehen. This means to come back. So I have not, okay, I have used this verb here. Zurück. This means back. So zurückgehen is to go back. Anrufen. Anrufen is to call. Rufen is to call. Anrufen is also means the same. So what is the difference between rufen and unrufen? Rufen is I am calling someone. Someone is present in front of me and I am calling him or her. So this is rufen, that I am calling you. Okay. Unrufen is I am calling someone on the phone. So this is the main difference between rufen and unrufen. Einladen is to invite. Invite. Einkaufen. Einkaufen is to buy. Kaufen also means to buy. Einkaufen also means to buy. Einkaufen means when I am going, what does ein means? Ein means in. So einkaufen is I am going in a place, like in a supermarket or in a big showroom or any kind of place, in market, let's say in market, in supermarket, in mall. So I'm going in somewhere to buy something. So this is einkaufen. And when we buy something, like we are not going anywhere, we are like whenever we try to buy online or just going to the nearby shop and buying something, this is simple kaufen, to buy. But einkaufen is like I'm going inside something and buying this particular thing. So this is einkaufen. Okay. Einkaufen is to buy. Nachfragen is to ask questions. Okay. To inquire, you can say. Or to ask, simple, ask. Nachfragen. Hochladen is to upload. I'll be uploading this particular video after shooting. So, upload. Hochladen. Zurückkommen. Zurückkommen is to come back. Zurückkommen is to come back. So, whenever if I use a particular statement, for example, einladen in a statement. So, ein and laden, this gets break. this gets broken, laden gets conjugated and ein comes at the last. So this is the basic thing that I want to convey, that when we are using 10-bar verbal, so we need to know that how they are placed in a particular sentence. So this is a very best example. This is the best example explaining what is the verb conjugation and the arrangement of the sentence. Okay. So here, okay. So let's revise this. We have 10-bar verbal. We have verbs which are getting added up and then making a new word. And when we are using it in statement, so the main verb gets conjugated according to the subject and the prefix comes at last. These are some prefixes that we need to learn, so that whenever we see these prefixes, we'll get to know that this particular verb is a 10-bar verb. These are some examples that you can have a look at. So that is it for today, and if you like this video, click on like button, share among your friends who all are learning German, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.